Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on this wonderful Wednesday for another YouTube video. We've got a pretty spectacular video lined up for you today. We're going to be talking about the beautiful continent of Africa, the birthplace of mankind. We should remind the racists among us of that, because if you do, they won't really know what to say to that. They'll start getting very confused and worked up. And that being said, guys, we're going to be covering what Cardano is doing in Africa, why it is so significant. It is exceptionally significant. You guys will know that follow me regularly that I believe blockchain technology is going to have a big impact in the world. And Africa is one of the, if not, I believe, the poorest continent in the world, and is one of those continents out there where the people really could use blockchain technology. You know, it's going to benefit them. Blockchain technology is going to benefit the world in many ways, and it's also going to restrict it in others. But that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Why is it so significant? Many people don't quite grasp just how significant what Cardano is doing in Africa actually is. Certainly we know they already have deals with Ethiopia, Tanzania. They're partnered with World Mobile, which is a telecom company that is looking to kind of connect the unconnected, is their catchphrase, I believe. But this is huge, what's going on. There's a lot of value in Africa. Charles has often spoke about onboarding 1 billion users to the Cardano network. This is going to be achieved, and his vision is achieving this with your kind of developing nations. And many of the countries within Africa fit that bill and are open to adopting something like this, whereas in the Western world, we have all these kind of financial legacy systems to kind of compete against. So before I start the video, guys, very quickly, the All in Crypto Cardano stake pool is live. We've had it announced officially for about 2.5 days. We're at 120,000 Cardano delegated so far. So I believe we are going to get to the point where we start minting blocks and paying out rewards very soon. So for those of you who wish to delegate, head on over to your Yoroi wallet. The name of the pool is All In, and this is the official All in Crypto stake pool. Let's get those delegation, guys, and let's start minting blocks together. Where I want to start is by playing you this clip, and this is going to help you to understand the value in Africa in terms of a monetary value. Charles talks about $5 trillion of liquid value in Africa that hasn't been onboarded into any kind of a financial system. It's like exchanged value between one another. So we're going to play this clip. We'll talk about it. We've got a series of clips to play for you, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll really get a grasp on what's going on here. Africa is going to really further and really progress the adoption of blockchain. It has I think 70% of the population is under 30. As a continent, that's the kind of stats. 1.3 billion people live in Africa, I believe. I think Asia's a much bigger continent, but Africa's right up there. So let's play the clip, guys, and then let's talk about it.
There's a real need for DeFi amongst the bottom 3 billion in the world. And what we're focused on is how do we bring those people into our ecosystem? And it's a humongous challenge. There's infrastructure challenges, there's identity challenges, there's issues with reputation. There's cash in and cash out. You need to actually deal with capital controls and currency stability. It's a daunting task. And you measure that progress in terms of years. The things that we do in Africa usually are on a 3 to 7 year time horizon per project, and they're usually a public-private partnership. However, when you pull it off, you bring 5 million people, 10 million people, 20 million people, which is probably larger than the entire active user base of Ethereum at the moment for one deal. So we have a long horizon. That's why we tend not to care about the ups and the downs of the daily stuff. And we say, okay, let's build something that when we look back 10 years, 20 years, we say it made a difference. It was very meaningful and actually brought real purpose to cryptocurrencies. And then people ask, well, what's the value in that? There's $5.4 trillion of liquid wealth just in Africa alone, where it's there and it just can't be accessed by the global markets. From human capital to real estate to natural resources to companies that are very valuable, but they have no liquidity because there's no stock markets and they can't IPO. There's so many things there that if only they could touch the global markets, they would enrich all of our lives, including people who possess those things. And that's the point of these systems. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're at, and we love the challenge. We have offices in Africa. We have offices all over the world.
So there you have. So that was it, guys. That was one of the clips from my older videos, and that was Charles talking about just what the value behind Africa is, the reasoning for it. and just how much Africa as a continent, many of the countries within it, need blockchain technology to not only enrich their lives but enrich the kind of global system. We're moving more and more towards a global world, which I have some objection against, but that's for another video. And this is one way that this is going to be achieved with blockchain, a global system. Certainly that's what Cardano is. Anybody can set up a node theoretically and actually help to maintain the system. It's amazing what's going on here. Like I say, cryptocurrencies was really the wrong word for these blockchains. They're really operating systems. That's how you want to look at them. They're far, far more reaching than a currency. It's amazing what's going on in Africa. I think many people out there really overlook what's taking place with Cardano in Africa. We know that Atala Prism is the kind of identifier of it. Atala Prism is essentially under the Cardano umbrella. It uses the Cardano blockchain, but it's really for identity, and it gives people in Africa, in Ethiopia in this case, and in regards to education, a real record of their achievements, and kind of gives them that extra step up, that extra kind of system to help them get to where they're going. This is what we're seeing. We're going to see this continue. And Charles mentioned $5.4 trillion. Imagine if that was sloshing around on the Cardano network. Of course, Cardano, once this kind of blockchain revolution really kicks in, and we are going to look at our Africa ready for this towards the end of the video, you are going to see that value get eaten up into blockchain. It's not just going to be Cardano. There'll be other blockchains, of course, that soak some of that up. But Cardano is very well positioned. They're one of the only, or certainly one of the most well-known cryptocurrencies that are actually active in the continent of Africa, mainly led by John O'Connor. We've spoken about John on a number of occasions. A very interesting guy, works with World Mobile, and ultimately he's the guy that goes and speaks to the ambassadors of these individual countries and tries to kind of work and liaison deals. This video was really prompted after Charles had said, just got back from Wyoming. We know he took 2 weeks off after the Cardano summit, and I'm ready for this upcoming week, heading to Africa soon, starting in South Africa all the way up to Egypt. Let's go change the world together. And I believe that through blockchain this is going to be achieved. This is another one. The IMF essentially reported that the cryptocurrency adoption is very detrimental and could lead to a collapse. And by collapse, we mean they won't be laden with hyperinflation, and highly centralized rails are under our control. This is really what's going on with blockchain. There's a lot more than an investment proposition at hand here. There's a kind of liberating aspect to blockchain, which is originally why Satoshi created Bitcoin, but that is also for another video. The second clip I want to play for you is Charles touching again on the DeFi aspect of things and why it's just so more suited, if you will, to these developing nations that don't already have systems in place.
It's a product without a customer at the moment. And so you have to create a customer base for it. And we're actually, I think, the only mainstream project in the top 10 that has a real strategy for how to get real customers for DeFi. And that's a unique advantage we have when people have DeFi and they want to deploy or use us. They say, well, who's actually going to do peer-to-peer loans? Who's actually going to do peer-to-peer insurance? Who's actually going to do peer-to-peer payments, or, use a stable coin, or, a DEX, or these things? Look, I got news for you. It's not a guy living in New York. They already have systems. Those systems are highly regulated. They're quite efficient. They have low transaction fees. So it's the people who live in Ghana. It's the people who live in Ethiopia. It's the people who live in Uganda. 70% of these populations are at or under the age of 30. They're internet enabled. They're digitized. They're westernized. They understand how the world works. They just have broken systems, capital controls, and markets that are junk. So they're not going to accept it and say, oh, well, we'll just be poor. No, people don't do that. Necessity is the mother of invention. So they're looking actively for new currencies and new financial systems and new lending systems, and to be their own bank and to be in control of their own money.
And in steps Cardano. Can you see other pieces of the puzzle adding up here? It is a lot more of a strategic move for Cardano to be in Africa than I think many people are giving credence to. Of course, they are already having a big impact in the West, and they're going to continue to do so. They're partnered with Fortune 250 companies, etc., Boost. But they are targeting Africa because it is probably one of the areas where you're going to see the biggest adoption of crypto on a mass peer-to-peer scale, and it's huge, and this brings a lot of value to the Cardano network. And this is just one aspect of what Cardano is doing, and I hope that this is all adding up Because many people say, well, why would we go for Africa? It's a very poor, there's not a lot of value there. It's about a lot more than that. It's about creating that value and having that value onboarded onto the Cardano network, and in doing so, enriching the people within the countries of Africa's lives. And who doesn't support that?
So the DeFi revolution, where it's going to get its customer base from is Africa and Eastern Europe and Southeast Asia and these other places. We're one of the best positioned projects in the world for that. We spent 3 years in Ethiopia. We have tremendous momentum there. We're just about to do an Africa special episode here in a bit, where we actually talk about our 2021 Africa strategy. And we talk about some of the deals we're imminently closing, which are quite large. And they portend a rapid growth and adoption of Cardano as a platform, and bring millions of, if not tens of millions of customers into Cardano. So then we go and have the DeFi conversation. You say, guys, this is your customer base. These are the people that matter. And let's think about the numbers. So I'll just give you a great example. So the Agricultural Transformation Agency in Ethiopia, they deal with smallholder farmers. Now there's about 15 million of them in Ethiopia. So every year they have programs like fertilizer vouchers, where farmers will get vouchers to buy fertilizer. They have to repay them. Now, if they don't repay them, usually there's a sovereign guarantee. So if they default, someone else will cover it. But the repayment rate's over 90%, and the interest rate can be 10 to 15% on that. So you have a sovereign-backed debt instrument for millions of people with a 15% return and a 90% repayment rate. That does not exist in the Western world. So the problem is they're small. They're only a few $100s of value each. But what if you could tokenize them and aggregate them and turn them into multi-million or billion-dollar investment pools and securitize that and sell it as security tokens in the Western markets? So this is an example of where DeFi enables liquidity for the Western world with new financial products and innovation. And you can build incredible products that no one's ever seen before that have much better returns. And they're also a great social benefit to the existence of these products, because they create liquidity for the poorest people in the world and allow them to build wealth and protect the wealth that they've acquired. So the point that we've been trying to convey is, look, we know how to do business here. It takes 3 to 7 years to close deals and get momentum, and there's an enormous amount of upfront effort. But we built Cardano for this purpose. So the next 10 years or 20 years, I'd like to get 1 billion users in Cardano, and I'd like those 1 billion users to be mostly in the developing world. So, they have no standards right now. There's no JP Morgan Chase. There's no big, massive legacy financial system that dominates and controls. In the Western world, DeFi makes no sense to me because it's going to be regulated out of existence. A great example would be Libra. Facebook.
We'll leave that one there, guys. I could let that play. I'll leave a link to this one. This was an interview by Cointelegraph. I'll also try and find the original video that I took this clip from and leave a link to that. I hope things are starting to make sense. It's a lot more of a big deal than I think people are giving credence towards. And for me, it's something that I'm totally on board with. I think that Charles spoke about a number of things there. He spoke about necessity being the mother of all invention. And that's really what you have. Many, certainly Ethiopia and countries like that, are very open to new systems because the systems that they currently have suck. They're very corrupt and manipulated and only benefit a very small amount of people. So they're very open. They're also a very young, kind of per capita basis continent, very young countries within that. And this is, they're ripe for the adoption of crypto. And if Cardano position themselves and maintain that, Charles spoke about 10 to 20 years down the line, Cardano, yes, fantastic short-term investment in my opinion, but an even better long-term investment. And we don't really often speak about this on this channel, but I have a set amount of Cardano that I will not sell indefinitely. Yes, I'm going to be taking profits at the end of the year once some of my price targets get met. But I have quite a bit of my Cardano that I'm just going to have sat on the table, and I see it as a long-term investment, as investing is really about time in the game. So we're going to play the last clip for you, which is this one, and then we'll wrap that up. We'll take a quick look at the price. It's not really doing much. Things just look the exact same as they did yesterday, but those of you who watch me regularly will know the kind of price predictions and the roadmap which we're following that we have set out for Cardano. We're still sticking to that 100%. I wanted to do something a little bit different for those of you who wanted a little bit more information on Cardano, what they're doing, and this is just one aspect of what's going on. So this is the next clip, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. I'll love and leave you on that note and catch you in tomorrow's video.
In early China. And so you never go to where the puck is, you go to where the puck will be. You go to where the world is going to be in 10 years or 15 years. And so I think we're in the right place in the right time from demographic, economic progress. And also China agrees. They've put over $1 trillion of investment into Africa And actually, most pre-COVID of the African economies were growing at 10 to 15% per year. Their GDPs were just skyrocketing, and they're in desperate need of new systems, which are coming. So my belief is if we can get in early, all of those countries can run on Cardano or a blockchain, and those are now 1 billion new customers that as they grow in wealth, they grow in a new economy. And what's beautiful is it actually accomplishes what I want to seek in America and in the European Union, other places, because greed will compel modernization of America and the European Union, because they'll say, we want money. We want to interface with these 1 billion new customers. We should probably blockchain ourselves and become interoperable with those standards and so forth. The other thing is the governments are willing to.
So there we have it, guys. We'll leave that there, guys. If you don't want to listen to this video that I created back in April, it's still up there. The title is Cardano, $5 trillion to tap into huge potential long-term investment potential. That's really all I have for you guys. I just thought that was an interesting one. Maybe prick some of your ears up into the direction of what's going on with Africa, why it's so significant, and it really is significant, not just for Cardano, but the adoption of blockchain as a whole. And it's also, in doing that, going to enrich the lives of many and create more of a fair, equal system for those who live in it. That is really all I have for you guys. I'm going to love and leave you. Remember, let's get those delegations on All In Crypto or the All In Stake Pool. Let's get to the point where we're minting blocks and dishing out rewards and establish ourselves as a stake pool on the Cardano network, or a stake pool with some clout. That's all I have for you guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Hopefully, I will see you all in the next YouTube video. If you enjoyed the content, like, it's always appreciated. So is a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, guys.